Alright guys, welcome back again to the channel. So today is the day we've all been waiting for. Nigeria versus Ghana in the Unity Cup game tonight. 7:45 is the time for that one. It's going to be very promising. It's going to be a breathtaking match, I'm sure about that. Every single time Nigeria Ghana have a game, it's always a huge rivalry between these two countries. So take nothing away from this game. It's technically a friendly, but it's not a friendly. And this is one of the things that the coach of the Ghanaian side, Ado, has come out to say. But quickly, before we delve into what is happening in the Ghana camp, the Super Eagles camp is really blazing right now, because there have been a lot of activities in the camp, a lot of training. I think they've had 2 trainings completed day before yesterday and yesterday as well. So I would think that the guys are good to go, and are ready to take on the Ghanaians. But in terms of the players, I think we still probably have 1 or 2 players who are not yet in camp. The likes of Tola Rokodare was one of the guys that showed up late yesterday. He arrived from Belgium. Of course, he plays in the Belgian Jupiter Pro League, and he obviously had a fantastic season in the Belgian League, winning the top goal scorer of the season in the league with 21 goals. He scored a total of 23 goals in all competition, but 21 in the league. So obviously it was a very busy period for him, because he had to stay behind to get the award, be involved in ceremonies and things like that. So in my mind, I'm thinking that's probably why he didn't show up on time, just like the other guys. But the most important thing is that he came around yesterday, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he even followed them to practice yesterday evening as well. So but the guys that I have doubts right now that I've not really seen in camp, Maduka Okoye is one of the guys. But also yesterday he posted on his social media with a caption, a selfie with a caption, "Off to London," and then there's a Super Eagles emoji, which shows that he was en route which shows that at that period I posted it, he was already traveling to the UK to join the guys. So hopefully, now that I'm making this video, or before the video drops, he would already have been in camp and joined in with the guys. But the person that I've not really seen anything about is the likes of Uche Crisantos, who's coming from Getafe Sevilla. We've not seen this man yet in camp. I think he's the only person left to complete the Super Eagles setup, but we've not really seen him. I don't know what's happening. Maybe he's on his way, just like Maduka Okoye as well updated yesterday. So that's what's happening right now in our camp. And for the guys that came late, the likes of Arokodare, who just had 1 training out of, I think, a total of 2-3 trainings, and Maduka Okoye and possibly Uche Crisantos, I don't think these guys stand a chance to be in the starting 11, because they didn't come on time, and we had more than 20 plus people who arrived the first day to be in the first training. So it's going to be almost like a surprise to me if we see some of these players that came late being featured in the starting 11. But with that being said, of course, the coach still has the responsibility to decide who he wants to go for, whether he's going to play these guys from the starting of the game. But let's move forward and talk about one man in the squad who's also very interesting. One is for the fact that he's going to make his debut for this game, and I'm talking about Felix Agu. He was included in the squad when the list came out. He was included in the squad, but not as a player who can play the match, who can play the Unity Cup game or even the friendly. He was included as a player who would just come in with the guys in camp and then train without any possibility of playing actual matches or completing actual caps for for Nigeria. The reason why he was being invited to only come in and train and not partake in the matches was because his eligibility or the documents and paperwork have not quite been sorted out. So NFF already communicated to FIFA and started the whole process, but they were still waiting for the German FA to reach out to FIFA saying that this man hasn't represented us at the senior level, so he's free to, to go represent the Super Eagles. And luckily for us, he got that or we got that confirmation from the German FA, and now FIFA has granted him access to represent the country, to represent Nigeria. So it's not only just going to be in the camp to train, it's also going to be eligible to make appearances in the games properly. So good one for him, and the man is really excited. He gave out an interview via NFF's official media, and he talks about some really interesting things that he feels very proud to represent his fatherland. He feels happy that he gets the chance to reconnect with his roots. And he also mentioned a couple of things that we didn't really know before. For example, he talked about the fact that he loves Nigerian food. Even though he was born and bred in Germany, he still loves to eat Nigerian food. But quickly, I just wanted to talk about why it's going to be very exciting for we to see this man play. What are some of the things that we don't know about this guy? So his full name is Felix Agu. He was born in Germany, but his parents are from Nigeria. He spent his formative years in Germany, grew up through the ranks, and then started playing football. Played for Germany, played for different age grades in the Germany national team. I think he played up until the under 21s before he stopped playing. Then he was looking for them to call him at the national team because it was time, but he didn't get that needed call up, and he decided to switch to play for Nigeria. Importantly, also, let me add this one. This is not the first time that we had courted Felix Agu to come represent us. Back in 2019, when Coach General was in charge, he was the first person that reached out to Felix to represent Nigeria. But during that period, he was still young and vibrant, and still had all this expectation that Germany was going to call him and things like that. And he rejected the offer from Coach General. But fast forward to how many years? I think 6 years later. Yeah, he's now decided that, hey, I mean, it makes sense for me to go represent my fatherland. And after all, I'm not that young. I'm 25. I'm getting old, and I want to play international football, things like that. So that was probably what went on in his mind. But at the end of the day, no one is judging him. We are glad that he finally decided to embrace, Nigeria and the chance to represent us. So what is special about this guy? This guy is a very promising player who's very versatile. He can play a lot of positions. He plays naturally as a left back, but he can also play as a right back and can play as a left midfielder. So these are the qualities that this man have. This season that was just concluded in the Bundesliga, he scored 3 goals and provided 1 assist in 22 matches, which is impressive. It shows us the stats, especially the goal stats, shows us that he's a kind of defender that pushes forward, pushes the attack a lot, and also gets goals by himself. So this is definitely going to bring quality to the Super Eagles, to Chelle, and also the fact that he is someone that can play in multiple positions. So it's going to be interesting to see how Chelle uses this man to solve the problem that is in the Super Eagles right now.